Finally, the Chiefs moved back from 207, which I think was a good idea. Drafting that early in the sixth round is kind of tough, especially when all those players are going to be there. They moved back to 226, didn't take any darts off the board, right? So they just basically swapped picks around with the Jets. To close out the draft, I think this might sound hyperbolic, but I think this could be the steal of the draft, period, hands down. Because Trey Smith is an absolute dog on the front. On the offensive front, Tennessee guard Trey Smith was selected at 226, which second round talent. I know there's a big concern with the blood clots he has in his lungs. That's a big deal. Yeah. But when you watch clips of this dude, when you just watch full games of this dude, his motor is high, number one. He's always mad, is what it looks like. But I think he just really enjoys burying people in the dirt. There's a tweet going around Chiefs Twitter right now of him from like 2015 in high school saying like the weak get pancaked or something like that with a picture of him pancaking people. So this just kind of puts a little nice, beautiful little crown on the king of this offensive line rebuild overhaul, because we talked about it yesterday's podcast. Really, after Creed Humphrey, we're like, holy cow, like this overhaul is insane. But now you draft Trey Smith, who is a guy who can play right guard for years to come. So now you're starting to look at this offensive line. You've got long-term solutions at center now, at left guard, depending on if you sign Orlando Brown for the long term. So just for the scenario, let's assume that they sign Orlando Brown for the long term. That's all sheared up. Your left side is sheared up. Now you go to right guard, Trey Smith, if he can perform to the level that I think we know he can perform at, and he gets there for 4 years, right? That's a cheap guy performing on a rookie contract is what the Chiefs need. Absolutely beautiful there at right guard. Lucas Niang at right tackle, who's still a guy on a young contract. If he performs the way we think he can perform, the Chiefs are set for like 4 years on this offensive front. And this is a complete 180. If you could, I guess like 360 would be the wrong way, right? So it's like the most total 180 that you could ever make. This offensive line is the complete opposite of what it was in the Super Bowl. And not only that, but there's depth to it too. Even if these guys like Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith don't start right away, which I don't expect Trey Smith to start right away, because you do have Kyle Long, you do have LDT, and you do have, Andrew Wiley, who was last year's starting right guard. You've got guys on this team that were starters last year that are now depth pieces. So you start looking at that, you're like, okay, I feel a lot better about this offensive line moving into 2021 and beyond. And I think that Trey Smith, like I said earlier, they went out with a bang in this draft. I know a lot of people around Twitter, we talked about this yesterday with Connor. There's not a whole lot of times in Brett Veach's tenure we've seen like the national media say, oh, that was a good pick by the Chiefs. People are just like, okay, yeah, that's a pick. We get it. We understand. But these last two picks of Cornell Powell, of Trey Smith, really of Joshua Kando too, the national media was like, these are some dudes. Like, these are some guys, especially the one with Trey Smith. They're like, I can't believe that he fell all the way there, but the Chiefs got him, and the Chiefs are going to be nasty for years to come. And I'm absolutely stoked to see how Trey Smith pans out. I'm a big Trey Smith fan. Just the way he's battled through adversity and everything like that. He works with, Jeff Schwartz, with the guys that O-line masterminds. He's working with Duke Manyweather. And the Chiefs got two guys that do all those things, right? With Creed Humphrey as well. So that's exciting to see. The Chiefs are getting offensive linemen working with Duke. Duke works with the best. I mean, Mekhi Becton works with him, who's one of the best young guards in the game right now. So, Jordan, I think you and I shared a lot of the same thoughts on this pick, but what did you think of it?
I love it. And that's even with the scheme fit not being hand in glove. Like he's heavy handed. Yes, he's a mauler, but he doesn't move particularly well in space. He tested really well at his pro day, which makes, I think, everybody feel a lot better about that. But at the second level, there's a little bit of worry about him taking angles and opening and closing his hips accurately and quickly, and his foot speed and stuff like that, which is fine if you're on the inside at the line of scrimmage. You don't need that stuff. He has the size. He's 6'5", 3, whatever. He's a big boy. especially at guard. Just a mauling run blocking presence, really good pass blocker. I think like he's, like you said, I'd probably give him like a 3rd round talent. He's a day 2 pick probably.
Oh,
like
yeah.
he's a really good player. The medicals are worrisome, but I believe he said that it's been like a year or 2 since he's had to worry about those blood clots. Like he's had back-to-back all conference caliber seasons. So if that pans out, man, you are getting a starting right guard probably long term. Like,
Oh, yeah.
and he has, I believe he played left tackle early on, and I don't even want to entertain any tackle thing with him. Like, I list him as a guard in any like writing and stuff that I did today. So how can you not love that pick? Like, and there's upside. It's low risk. Like, if the medicals don't check out and he can't play, you're losing a late 6th round pick or middle, whatever it is within the 6th round. If it pans out, he's cheap, good guy, hard worker, on the field, off the field, good leader, good player, strong, heavy-handed, good run blocker, a dude. Like, I should have put him on my dude list. I didn't know about the fit. And I was like, I don't think the Chiefs would be interested in this guy. And they are. Obviously, they picked him up, and it's kind of going against what they do sometimes. Like, if you're running outside zone and stuff like that, he's not a good fit for that on reach blocks and things of that nature. But it's a good pick. And can we name all of the Chiefs offensive linemen right now? So we have the 5. Then backup right guard, whether it be LDT or Long. So that's 6. Mike Remmers is 7. Nick Allegretti would be 8. Austin Blythe would be 9.
Yep.
Yasir Durant would be 10. Martinez Rankin would be 11. Did I name Allegretti already?
Yeah. They also have Brian Wiseman. They have Prince Wanego Tonga or whatever his name is.
And Wiley. I don't think I named Wiley either. That's like they're 13 deep. Like it's
at least, yeah,
legitimate. And if a guy gets hurt at left guard, or I guess not left guard, right guard, somewhat equal caliber replacement. I mean, you have LDT and Long. That's going to be a camp battle. If Creed Humphrey were to get hurt, knock on wood for all of these, obviously. Austin Blythe, he is capable of starting. Hell, Austin Blythe could play right guard if they really needed him to. It's not a situation where one guy gets hurt and then the wheels completely fall off of the offensive line. Like, it's a situation where if you lose both of your tackles, it looks bad and you're somewhat doomed. But the odds of something like that happening, I mean, you can't literally be Joe Thuney deep at every position or Orlando Brown deep in every position or something like that. But you can put yourself in a position where there's competition, healthy competition, good leadership, guys that can do different stuff. Like Trey Smith can do completely different things that a Austin Blythe can do or something like that. And Creed Humphrey can do stuff differently than Austin Blythe. It's perfect. The Chiefs offensive line, I don't get fired up very often about O-line. Like, you were the guy that just loves these linemen that, like Tevin Jenkins, you get on a roll about him, and I like Tev. But, man, the Chiefs unit as a whole got better because of the addition of Trey Smith. It's extremely low risk. The investment is very minimal, and it has potential to be pretty good. Like, I just love it. I'm very excited for it. The line's going to be good. Mahomes is going to have more time. The running game is going to be better. They're going to be able to pick up 3rd and short. They're going to have more chances on goal line runs. Then if you put Darrell Williams back there in those situations, you're really cooking with fire. Like Clyde, I think it's possible he gets some push there, but Darrell has a specific role, I think, in a specific niche that he fits into. It's just wonderful. And the receivers are going to look better because of it. They're going to have less attention, I think, when you're stacking the box. Mahomes is going to have more time to get the ball to those guys. It's a win-win. I mean, the receiving group got better. The tight end group got better. The offensive line got better. The defensive line got better. This was a good draft for Brett Veach. Like, we've been critical of him. I think everyone has been critical of him, and it's fair. It's fair to just call things like you see it, but I see this as not a home run of a draft and not home run picks, but these are all I don't dislike any of them. And that's rare to look at a draft class and say, I can see this, I get it. I like, and then love. Like I'm looking here. I have 3 A's for him and a couple B's and a C plus. Like that is a pretty good draft for one Brett Veach, who people bring it up all the time. He didn't get off to a great start with the Chiefs in the 2018 draft, and then 2019 was rocky. 2020, it's really hard to get a read on that overall, especially with Niang coming back and stuff like that. But man, got to be excited about it. I'm pumped.
Yeah, so am I. I already spent a lot of time talking about Trey Smith. There's going to be a lot of stuff about Trey Smith too. I believe he was on the what do they call Big Boys Club is what Jeff Schwartz did.
Yeah.
Him and Creed Humphrey both are on the Big Boys Club, so make sure you go check that out. I was on Fox Sports 1. I've already watched it once. Some really good conversations there. Both really smart offensive linemen. Just you love to see it. And you mentioned just a low risk, very high reward pick here.